Let's talk about vaccinations and vaccination incentives. You know, it's not easy to get everyone vaccinated. Case in point, let's turn our attention just for a second to Major League Baseball. And the teams in Major League Baseball, under their collective bargaining agreement, and for this season, the protocols for COVID-19, if a team reaches 85% vaccinated, these are millionaires, these are baseball players that make a lot of money. If they get to 85% vaccination rates within a team, they get to relax all the rules. They get to take off their masks. They get to hang out more. They get to have the dinners. So teams are really, and they feel it's a competitive advantage as well. They're trying so hard to get to that 85% threshold. They have all the incentive in the world to get vaccinated. And it's only about half of the teams in Major League Baseball that have gotten to that 85% threshold. It's not easy. Here in Quebec, we found out a couple of days ago, government announced that we're at 75% of Quebecers have either one dose or have an appointment for their first dose. But getting to the rest of the 25%, that is going to be a much tougher task. So what should we do about it? Should we offer cash to get the vaccine? Would that entice you to get the jab? What organization thinks this might be a good way to motivate Canadians to get their vaccine? And with more on this, we go to Brian Dijkema, Vice President of External Affairs at Cardus, a faith-based think tank and also a registered charity. Hi, Brian. How are you?
I'm well, Elias. Thanks for having me.
So I have it on good authority that you are a beekeeper and that you are a Montreal Canadiens fan, even in Ontario.
Yeah, it's a great time to be both right now. The flowers are out, the Habs are winning. What can I say? It's a good time. Go Habs.
Go Habs, go. We're all very excited about the result last night, and just how incredible that goal by Paul Byron was. By the way,
beautiful.
Let's talk about your thoughts on this one about incentives. You're proposing of a cash incentive of up to $90 for Canadians. Tell us more.
Yeah, it's not quite cash. We're not looking to hand it over. What we're looking for actually is for the government to offer about a $90 incentive. That's $90 represents 3 times the median hourly wage in Canada. So we want to sort of make it something that everybody's in, 3 times the median hourly wage. And what we're saying is that the government should offer it in terms of gift cards to local businesses or gift cards to give to local charities. The reason for that is this. One is vaccines work, and we can talk a little bit more about that later, but vaccines only work if we do this all together. And what we wanted to do was craft an incentive that appealed to people's sense of solidarity, the sense that the only way to get through this together is to get through it together. And we wanted to, provide incentives that would help people help 2 communities that have been particularly hard hit, and that's local businesses and charities. We know that revenues for both of those have gone down. Many have closed down. And so what we want to do is provide an incentive that will help the person who's getting the vaccine, but also help the community that they're a part of.
Why do you think there's regional disparities in this country, it seems, when it comes to vaccine uptake? Why do you think Brian Pallister out west is begging his population to get vaccinated, and we're seeing a different percentage uptick-wise on vaccinations?
Yeah, on the regional one, I don't know. It's a sort of complex sort of situation. I know what often happens, though, with vaccine uptakes is less that people are against it. Most people actually aren't against vaccines. It's more a question of inertia, whether or not they feel the need to do it. And that's the point of this. It's not that people are sitting around saying, no, vaccines are bad. We know that they work. They've been shown to work. They're incredible, almost miraculous. And what we need to do is actually encourage people to go out and take part of that rather than just sort of wait. And we think that the incentive we're suggesting is one way to do it. We've seen that in Australia when they offered incentives. Studies have shown that vaccine uptake moves up to about 90%. That's above the Major League Baseball threshold, like you'd be winning that one. And so we think that an incentive would be the best way to move those people who are not against it but aren't feeling motivated. It provides that little boost of motivation. And the best part of it is that it provides a boost of motivation that actually helps communities that have been hit hardest.
We're with Brian Dijkema, Vice President of External Affairs at Cardus, a faith-based think tank. Brian, we've seen some U.S. states turn towards lotteries as a way to get people to get vaccinated. I much rather prefer your approach of giving everyone something, but are there any other ideas that you feel could also work in the incentive category?
Yeah, I mean, there were some of them that were offering free beer, which, that's kind of, that's appealing too. That's New Jersey was offering, I think, a single free beer. But I think what you're getting at is right. The lottery is a nice idea. People sort of say, well, I could win big if I do that. But what ends up happening with a lottery is only one or two people get it. You don't have that same sense of social solidarity. The proposal that we're doing, everybody benefits. And in fact, people don't just benefit individually, but you benefit 2 or 3 times, right? So if you get the $90 incentive and you say, oh, look, I'm going to give to my local charity, say the local food bank, what often happens is people will give a little bit more cash. They'll top it up to $100, for instance. In that case, the charity wins more, the individual wins more. You can imagine the same thing with a dinner. Say you get a gift card to local restaurants, and you're going to go out and you say, you know what, we will have that one extra beer, and you'll shell that extra buck. What ends up happening is that the incentive benefits not just the person, but actually increases the scope of benefit for the whole society, which interestingly enough is exactly what's happening with a vaccine. In a vaccine, you get protected individually, but that protection spreads broadly to the whole community. And I think that's what we're looking for, and that's why we designed it this way.
I mentioned regional disparities, but I think actually a more appropriate disparity is a demographic disparity, especially with younger men. Brian, how do you reach the 18 to 34 man?
Well, I mean, if you get that's a great question. I'm just above the 34, so I'm not quite there, but I think one of the things, again, is to provide them with something that shows them that this can actually accomplish something, that it's a sense of getting something done together. I know that sociologically that appeals to people, but the fact that you can say to the guys, this is one of the questions we want to ask. What did you do with your vaccine? So if you get a vaccine and you get it, you can say to these young men, what are you going to do with your vaccine? Maybe it will be to go out and watch a Habs game in a restaurant, which is what's happening on the other end when they go deep into the playoffs, and maybe they're in Game 6 of the final, and you want to go out with your buddies and watch it. That's, I think, one way to appeal to people is to show them what's on the other end. Right now we're experiencing lockdowns. We're experiencing everybody sort of stuck in. We've got to show people that if we get this done, there's all kinds of freedom. And I think offering a little bit of a taste of the freedom on the other side is what's going to motivate those young men in particular.
Brian Dijkema is Vice President of External Affairs at Cardus. He's got a 905 area code, but he's rooting for the Habs. Go Habs, go, Brian.
Go Habs, go, all the way to the finals.